What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel today. Thanks for stopping by. This video is, well, let me just put it this way. I had no intention of putting this video together until Tuesday when I released my No Magic, No Problem Bautista guide, which the point of that was obviously Magic is the best option for dealing with all of the characters in the Bautista event. But I was getting a lot of questions from people, who didn't have Magic in their roster, and kind of what their options were. So that was the main drive and the main focus of that video, was to kind of point out a few characters who I thought would be good options if you didn't have Magic. Because I mean, ultimately you could get through this challenge with Joe Fixit or Iron Patriot or Kamala Khan. I mean, technically you can get through anything in the game if you're willing to spend enough units and you're willing to blow through your entire inventory. So it wasn't really a question of if characters could do it technically, because they all can. It was more so, which characters can you use, that are going to limit the amount of revives, the amount of units that you're spending. So that was the main goal of that. But pretty much it felt like anyway, every other question I was getting was, hey, my Magic is unduped, can I do it? Hey, I've got a 3-star Magic, can she do it? And so, I mean, I'm not upset by any of those questions. That's totally fine. It wasn't the point of the video, but I thought, you know what, let me just throw this together and answer the question once and for all. Basically, I have 3-star Magic that I run into Chapter 4, and my 3-star Magic is not fully ranked up. She was fully ranked up at one point. When we got the rank down tickets for the 3 stars, I took it all down. Took many of my top ranked 3 stars down to put those into my 4 stars. So she is currently at rank 3 of 4, so she's not even ranked all the way up. And I've got the video playing here. This is the full run. I didn't edit this in any way. I've got it sped up. I think I cut about 5 minutes off of it. It's still a fairly long video. Even now, as I'm watching it, speaking over it, I may even speed it up a little bit, just depending upon how long this whole thing ends up being. If you're looking for kind of a strategy guide with Magic, the very first video that I put out on Bautista is probably the one you want to go watch. This is more just gameplay for fun, something to watch while maybe you're grinding for Angela. But the one thing I did want to focus on and try to point out, again, I know it's sped up, so maybe a little difficult to see, is that it's much more important when you've got a 3-star character, because you have very little health, that you are only blocking and doing parrying as often as you can when you have limbo. And the strategy that I implemented, and really I probably would have done with my 4 and 5, or with my 5-star, I should say, if I'd have realized it, but if you go ahead and you fill up your power meter almost to 3 bars of power, so just underneath of it, when you use your S2, it not only is going to stun lock the enemy, but it's also going to give you a portion of their power back. So if you're really close to an S3, when you use the S1, it's actually going to fill that power bar all the way up. It's going to push you through an S1, and there's a good chance that you're going to start a limbo, depending upon the rank of your Magic, which means as you fire off the S2, as they are getting up, you have a good chance that you're back into limbo for like 2.5 seconds. That's a great time to be able to parry them or to block them, wait for them to do a heavy while that limbo is up, and then you can just kind of start the whole thing over and over and over again. There were several times where I was able to kind of chain that all together into really long runs, and that's kind of the best way that I found, at least, to approach if you've got a 3-star. Now, ultimately, I'm going to jump to the end of this. I'm not going to commentate the whole thing. 1, because it's just really long. 2, because I've already done a commentary on Magic, your strategy on my first video. But also, you don't want to listen to me. I'm still super nasally with the allergy thing that I've got going on. So I will spare you 20 minutes of me blabbing on. If you don't make it all the way to Drax, if you cut off before that, let me just leave you with this. If you're about to peace out of here, I would not suggest doing... Well, let me step back. I would not suggest that you trying to fully 100% explore Chapter 4 with a 3-star Magic. And I will leave it at that. She is fine if you want to just get through the first path and then defeat Drax. That's totally fine. But I do not think it's worth all of your inventory or the units that it is going to take for you to use a 3-star Magic. I probably will say all that again for those of you that make it to the end with Drax, but at this point, I'll cut it off here. You can watch the video on through. It's all the fights. I think the first time that I have to use a revive is on Star-Lord. I think I screw up some timing there or something. He catches me. And then the same thing with Rocket Raccoon. And my goal was to be able to get through the first path there, without using any revives, and I really thought I was going to be able to do it, but unfortunately had to use a few. Ultimately, there's one thing I'll say with Rocket, he's not that difficult, especially if you have Magik. You just need to bait out 1 or 2 specials at the beginning, and if you can do that and push yourself to an S2, as soon as you have an S2, as long as you're playing decent, you can parry, you can get back to an S2 while he's in stun lock the whole time. So that really is not that difficult of a fight if you have Magik, regardless of what rank she is at. But anyway, at this point, I will jump over to Drax, and I will see you there.
reaching for a distant star. Don't stop now. Isn't it strange how we're safe at home? So that I counting days until the second blow. If you're gonna make a change, you have to let me know. Turn this shit around, just start to top the youngs. It's all you need to do.
So for the Drax fight, I entered it with kind of the same strategy that I had for all the other characters, as far as, you know, pushing right below an S3, using an S2, and trying to block, you know, while in limbo. But the problem that I quickly realized was that because the PI is, you know, more than double the characters that I was playing at the beginning, you know, he's what, 13 times higher than I am, even with class advantage. You know, even parry damage and block damage that you take is still quite a bit. You know, my overall health here is like, I think I've got like 4,000 health, maybe 4,300 hit points, something like that. So if you're taking, you know, parries and block damage of several hundred, you know, you're just not going to stay alive very long. So I was trying to, you know, kind of play more of an intercept game here, baiting out specials and intercepting. But it wasn't working, mostly because I just kept using the S2 with the power gain team. You get to it so quickly that unless you're focused on using your S1, you get to your S2 so fast. And yeah, he clips me right there. So I think I go back out, use a revive, and the strategy that I then switched to that would work, definitely would work a lot better than that first one, is spamming your S1. Do not power lock him. You know, even though your S2 does quite a bit more damage, you're going to have a hard time finding windows to hit him if he's power locked the whole game. So just push to your S1, let him use his S1. And the other benefit of this is that when he does use his special one, he gains Fury every time. So when you use your S1, you do gain extra damage when you nullify a buff. So it's not a lot, but it does help out a little bit. I did slow the fight down here. You know, I'll let this one run out so you can watch it. It's a pretty good fight. Ultimately, he does end up killing me again. I think the combo, well, I won't spoil it. I'll just let you see how high I get. But yeah, I don't spend any more revives. This was mostly just done for I don't know, for fun, for testing, I guess, to throw up there. So if you've made it all the way through the video, props to you. But hopefully this will answer your question. Ultimately, you really, I mean, this event, Chapter 4, is not made for 3 stars. As you can see, with a little bit of skill, you can get through completing it, as far as, you know, getting through that first path and jumping to Drax. But as far as exploring it 100%, I would not suggest that you go anywhere near that with a 3-star. I don't care if they're at rank 440 or 4 whatever, rank 4 something, whatever 3 stars are. You know, once you get up to the characters that are over 20,000 PI, all it takes is one mistake, and throughout the course of however many fights that is, you know, 30 or 40, you're gonna make mistakes, and you're gonna end up spending a lot. So you're better off watching my original video and taking in a 4-star version of like Vision, Psylocke, Hawkeye. I'm trying to think of any others right off the top of my head. I know there's many more that I mentioned, but I can't think of them for some reason. But anyway, if you have 4-star versions of those characters, they are going to be much more beneficial to you than using a 3-star Magik in the long run. You know, I had a lot of fun doing it. It was just kind of a challenge to myself. Ultimately, I wanted to get through it without using any revives, getting to Drax. I thought that was going to be, you know, something doable, but like I said, mistakes happen, and it is what it is. Anyway, I think I did manage to talk all the way to the end here. I think 115 hits is what I get to, so there you go. I spoiled it for you. Alright guys, hopefully this was, I don't know, some form of entertainment. Angela is in the arena right now. I'm going to jump over there, toying around with the idea of maybe pushing for the basic, or not the basic, the featured arena. I don't know, we'll see. I'm not sure I'm going to have that kind of time this weekend. But yeah, there you go. Takes me out. I think it was 115. Let me see here. Yeah, 115. There you go. Mine like a steel trap, I tell you what. Alright guys, hope you enjoyed. Until the next one, have a great day.